What's up, everybody? It is I, Sigma, and we are back with episode 41 of the BBET GamesCast. I'm joined by Superman Jeff.
What's going on, people? It's your favorite Superman.
As well as Mr. Gamer.
Hello there.
And Blue Bones.
It's your boy. What's going on, fam?
And as we always do, we like to start things off with what we've been playing for the week. Does anyone want to volunteer and go first?
I got a short, fun list. And by list, I mean it's one game. I've been playing a whole bunch of other games, but I recently picked up, and I'm going to start playing it with the lady, Wolfenstein Youngblood. It's on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Yo, that game's intense. It's fun.
That's not what I've been hearing about it.
Casey, did you play?
I'm enjoying it. Now,
No, I didn't know.
Oh.
That's the most recent one.
I am not a long-time Wolfenstein fan, and that might be why I like it over, the rest of the series. Because you're saying that, some folks are saying it was bad. I like to pick up stuff without reading the reviews first necessarily, but I'm just kind of glad I did. But this game is fun. It's kind of like Army of Two.
People didn't like that either.
Wow, that's what I like about it. You got double breaches, you got time things you got to do, you got lots of skills that complement each other. There's these two twin sisters of the main protagonist,
BJ Blazkowicz.
BJ, not JB. BJ Blazkowicz. Yeah, I had to actually look him up, and I was like, "Who's that old man? He looks really detailed." And I was like, "Oh, he's the main guy." So yeah, that was super cool. It's his daughters, and they, they have that Texas accent, and they're just like, "We just want to kill Nazis." And I was like, "Yeah, that's cool, man. Like, that's a great motivation." I like the guns. I like how you can kind of customize everything right out the gate, and your character builds levels over time.
I was waiting for that. I was waiting to hear you say that word. Because if that word was not in your... If that word was not in the reasons why you like this game, I wanted to know, where's the real Blue Bones?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not heavy... this customization system isn't super heavy, but it has a lot of potential. You can change your skins, you can change your gun attributes and power, and there's lots of stats that you tweak with that. And then it's just really fast-paced action, killing Nazis. And so I'm a fan of it so far. I haven't finished it. I'm only I passed the title screen, the first mission, and then we're going into kind of a little bit more explanation on what they're doing, because they're doing some time jumps and stuff like that. But I'm interested in the story. I'm excited to play it with the lady, little co-op action, and
that's its main draw, is that it's like a co-op focused experience, right?
That's all me, especially when you can keep it local. And a lot of times the smaller co-op games are more intense, and that's what I like about that. So yeah, the jury's still out, but right now I'm enjoying the game.
Okay. Fair enough. I've also been playing one game, so I'll go next. Well, one new game.
Got you.
Doom Eternal. I was streaming
it
this past Tuesday. Right from the get-go, that game kind of gets its hooks in you. It's a huge nostalgia bomb. Cause it's like an updated version of the music that I remember playing in the very first level of Doom 95, which was the first Doom I played, and I think is the first Doom period. It was just a port from older systems to Windows 95. But
wow,
man, it just engulfs you in that crazy demonic world where you're this super powerful slayer, and you're the threat, not all the demons that are invading everything. Everybody else is scared, but you're the big bad. And when you show up on the scene, you're super fast. You got the shotgun. You're punching stuff in the face, ripping things' eyes out. It's really, really fun. It's fast. It's fun. They added all these platforming elements. There are poles in the world. If you jump in the general vicinity to it, jump or do the air dash thing in the general vicinity of those poles, you do a little animation that then launches you high in the air, and then you can double jump, and then you can do a second air dash. And I've said this before, right? But double jumps and air dashes are my favorite things in side scrollers, right? It just makes the feeling that much better. And it's weird how well they still work in first person games.
It's
just
funny you mentioned
movement.
that, because in Wolfenstein Youngblood, I didn't expect there to be a double jump, and they actually had that. They were double jumping up this elevator shaft, and it worked out a lot smoother than I expected to. So I think I had that same experience with the
like they're
you're
awesome.
surprised that the first person double jump works.
well, like how good it feels, like because
Yeah,
there are some first person games that aren't great in terms of like platforming, but
Of course,
this actually works. Like it feels natural, like it feels like Destiny, because Destiny actually had pretty decent like movement for like first person character.
100%.
But like it's good in that vein, but like its shooting does feel different. Like you don't aim down sights at all. You don't even reload.
It's from the hip, right?
Yeah, everything is hip fire. You don't even reload. You just shoot until your magazine's empty. Then you're supposed to switch guns and just pick up more ammo and stuff. Like it's really, really fast and chaotic. And like at the end of the day, it's just stupid fun.
It's really funny you mentioned that game specifically because in my free company, we got a Discord. Shout out to GG. We had two guys who were playing this game. One absolutely hated it, and the other one absolutely loved it. And so I want to read a little bit of what they were saying. The guy who hated it said, worst $65 I've spent in a long time. It was unappealing, uninteresting, clunky, and it felt pointless. Right? Now, the guy who loved it said, it's hectic fun for me. It does rely on you to run away a lot of times due to the encounter, but you can get easily trapped in a corner, but you can get out of it. And if you don't have, I don't know what he said there, but the fact is he loved it at the end of the day. He said the last boss was a cluster F, and I'm replaying the game on a harder difficulty. I love it so much. So I had to talk to these guys. I'm like, yo, these opinions are way too on the other side of the spectrum, like on different sides of the spectrum. What's going on? So it turns out that the first guy who didn't like it had not played a Doom game before. Okay. And the guy who loved it had played all the Doom's games before. Okay. And I think he only missed one game. I think Doom 64 is the only one he didn't play. So it looks like that's one of the games, and kind of with the Wolfenstein thing, right? Well, it's kind of the opposite, but if you're
familiar with if you're familiar
franchise, with the series, you're gonna like the new one. And if you're not, it might just fall flat for you.
I can see that, especially if this other person who doesn't like it is more familiar with like maybe the Call of Duty style shooter, because that's what a lot of shooters today kind of copy the stylings of versus the kind of older feeling Doom / Halo, because Halo is slightly older, even though it's kind of evolved more so towards the Call of Duty stuff in recent years. But like the fact that you don't aim down sights is kind of a big deal. Like that's a mental shift of just kind of having your shots go where you want them to go without having to like point your gun straight in the center of your screen. Like it's something to get used to.
Most definitely.
But I like it because like the movement speed, like you run like just walking around in Doom, you move faster than like the sprint speeds of like any other game you play.
Really?
Like just the regular movement is that fast. So like you really you're just all over the arena. You're jumping, you're dashing, you're double jumping, you're shooting, you're then doing a kill attack because you have to kind of keep advancing to stay alive, because like the enemies will swarm you. You got to get right up in their face so you can collect all those power-ups they drop when you hit them with the... And I didn't really go into that, but it's kind of like this puzzle combat in the sense that you have to use certain weapons in order to get certain resources back. Like if you use the shotgun, you'll probably get like a couple of, health packs once they die. But if you do the kill attack, you get a lot of health back. If you do the flamethrower, you get a lot of armor. If you do the chainsaw, which is a limited resource, then that actually refills pretty much everything. So like when you run out of everything else, you have to get close, and you got to use that chainsaw so that you can get back into the fight. Like it forces you to keep pushing.
So the strategy is to use your weapon according to what you need, right?
Yeah, like whatever you use, whatever you have, and honestly, Halo plays like that too. When you have to, like, you run out of ammo all the time in Halo, and you pick up whatever the enemies dropping. So it's similar to that, except you have the stuff. You got to go and get resources from those enemies. So you're like, it's a similar kind of feel to just use the whole arena, like keep moving, get in their face. Like you can't run away from the danger. Like that's a lot of games are like pop and shoot, where you like stay in cover and then you engage from a distance because it's a gun. Guns are for long distance, but Doom, it's a shotgun is your main weapon, so you got to get close.
It's funny you mentioned that because Gamer and I were doing a heist in GTA, and we realized we're doing a setup for a heist, and we realized at the end of the day we're storming this building. We ended up going from 2 different sides. We realized that we can't just sit at the 2 different sides and try and kill everybody in the building. We had to kill somebody and move and use that path and just keep going because they kept swarming us in.
They would swarm us, flank us. It got to the point where we were going, okay, here we go, turn in the corner. Okay, I got my shotgun. Oh wait, no, I don't even. Boom.
Yeah, that's exactly how it
like
went.
that would because we need to turn around and aim. They're just like pop.
Yeah, same deal. Like if you're in one place, you're basically a sitting duck because they throw a ton of enemies at you. So you have, and the thing is, when you do those execution attacks, or whatever, like you're invulnerable, and then it gives you health. Nice. So it's like it's a saving grace. Like you see somebody blinking in the corner, you gotta make it over there. It's like that guy's gonna save my life. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing.
Yeah, man. What y'all got?
Jeff?
So I've recently been playing Resident Evil 3.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, you've been saying that you were planning to get that for a while now.
Yeah, it's a beautiful game. It starts off in Jill's apartment. And you wake up, or you think she wakes up. She goes in the bathroom.
Spoilers.
And then she starts to become like she's infected. It starts breaking out, and she starts to panic. And the next thing you know, you wake up.
Right.
So then you get up, you go in the bathroom, you wash your face again, you walk around the apartment, you look at some photos, and then, bam, Nemesis busts through the wall.
At least you waited for her to wash her face.
I was wondering if she was still asleep.
She was not.
You see the wall, like the web of how she was trying to connect Umbrella to a bunch of different stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like that investigation board.
So it kind of automatically hit me that, they sent Nemesis after her to silence her. So it's you trying to get a Nemesis because you can't fight him. He knocks her out, he kicks her in the stomach, and you crawl. Yeah, he put her down. So she's crawling and trying to get out of the apartment, going through different windows. And then you finally make it outside and you meet the other member of her team. And then zombies start attacking. And you run into a building, he barricades it, but as he's barricading, he gets bit.
Oh my goodness.
But wait, do Resident Evil zombies function that way? Because I feel like they always show them biting the crap out of people.
Yeah.
But it's never like a danger of them turning into a zombie. I feel like, what are the rules for Resident Evil zombies?
Okay, which Resident Evil zombies?
Okay, there it goes.
Like
when that multiplayer one that y'all were playing, like y'all got bit all the time.
Yeah, and there was an infection aspect to that, but I don't know what happened. I think you just die with the infection.
No, so in the Resident Evil 3, the infection, the higher the infection, the more difficult it is for you to do certain actions, and then your health will eventually go down. Like you just start to be sluggish and not able to do anything. In the Resident Evil 4 zombies, if you were bitten, you would just die because it was some sort of parasite that would have to go in you in order for you to
Resident Evil 4, they weren't technically zombies. They were called something else.
Right. But because then there's Resident Evil, the first one, where you have those are zombies that will just kill you unless you don't kill them upon a second playthrough and they come back as Crimson zombies. Like it gets weird. Like and mind you, that's still just Resident Evil 1 zombies. I haven't talked about 7. I haven't talked about 6.
Yeah.
And then 6 has 4, 5 different stories in it, and they all deal with different type of zombies as well. So yeah, it gets complicated.
So in 3 now, how's that working out, Jeff? In 3,
if you get bit, you turn in this one, but we haven't gotten that far yet. So we were just tell her to run. She ran, and that's where I stopped playing. Aside from that, I was playing some GTA last night.
Yeah, you were.
Here, bro.
Yeah.
And before that, I had some
You just go gloss over that? You not go explain why we just called you a troll and we was a little upset?
So
what had happened was
Blue online. I just so happened to see him on there. So I put my online status in offline. And then I popped into their session and but they just kept going from one end of the map to the other end. I'm like, man, what's going on? Helicopter rides, and I guess finally he saw me in the game, and he started sending me invites to join the party. So I'm like, whatever. I ignored the first two.
Rude. We wanted to include him. We wanted to include him in making this money. Go ahead, continue the story.
Please. So I accepted it. And you hear Blue, he's like, where do you see him? Where is he? I'm like, wait, does he know I'm in the party? I'm like, okay, maybe he does. He just acting like he doesn't. He's like, well, I see him. He's on the road. Is he in the helicopter or is he on the ground? He's in the helicopter. And I'm like, does not know I'm in the party? And I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm going about my business.
He don't say nothing when he gets in a party, y'all. He don't say hi. He don't say, hey guys, what's up? No, nothing. And I'm on PC. I ain't get no notification. It just happens.
So it's like, yeah, if he's in the helicopter, we got a chance. But if he gets out the helicopter and gets to the tank, we're in trouble. It's like, but let's hurry up before he realizes that. I'm like, huh? I'm like, okay. So
Gamer didn't even say nothing to me.
I did. No, I did.
It wasn't loud enough.
I get out the helicopter. One of my personal vehicles was too close to me, so I couldn't call in the tank. So I had to blow up my vehicle and then call the tank in. And the tank were sitting on top of their base. And he's like, well, let's take the beach, because maybe he won't see us coming from the beach. So I drive on over to the beach.
Now, but before he continues,
our operation.
Before he continues, I believe that something needs to be said. When we invited this gentleman and he joined the party with absolutely no indication of, hey, hello, a greeting, the reason that Blue and I were speaking the way we were speaking, because we knew that this gentleman was going to try to intercept us.
He'd been killing us before this, y'all. He skipped over that whole part.
Yeah,
he'd been killing us before all this.
Like there was not like, oh no, hi guys, let me do something. It's like, oh look, they're here. Let me meet them with my tank, because that seems friendly. That's how you introduce each other. Not hi, how you doing? It's like, yo, what's up? I got a tank. Like that's what happened. Please continue, good sir.
Go ahead, brother. So what happened when we stormed the beach with our information leaked?
after the wiretap information, They stormed the beach. I come down with the tank, and I hit a rock, losing this semi, and I'm trying to blow up the semi, so it's taking a few shots. So with the tank, you can charge up like a Gauss cannon.
Mm-hmm.
Left bumper. So I had to charge a full shot, and I finally took him out in the semi.
Now, we were gathering supplies from one side of the map to the other, and we had to drive that, y'all. Not fly across. If you play GTA 5, you know that's not a short drive.
And also, let me also mention that it's not as if it was a clean drive through the meadow. No, we're getting attacked.
Oh, yeah, we were dealing with cops the whole time.
Cops, airplanes, all sorts of stuff. And we finally get away from all of that, only to meet Jeff unannounced
with the tank
on the other side, acting like, oh, hey, guys, I'm just gonna, hey, how you doing? Daka, daka, daka. Like, that was, why? Why? And then after that, it was, okay, all right, so let's actually try to invite him. Let's act, because now we know he's here. Let's try. Nope, it's just Blue and Jeff killing each other. Okay, so you two go do that. I'm going to go try to do this supply mission. Hey, Blue, are you going to be okay? Yeah, man, just go. Okay. Then it turns out, oh no, this has to be something that he has to be here for. So now I'm asking Blue.
It was at least 20 minutes of us working.
To disengage from Jeff so that we could try to finally get these supplies. Oh, by the way, we did end up failing a supply run because, oh, look, a tank blew it up.
So good games all around, it sounds like?
Yeah, basically.
Good times.
So, what I've been playing, I actually finished the Guns, Love, and Tentacles DLC for Borderlands 3. You are going to love this, Blue.
Oh, yeah?
It is.
Okay.
It is, so, no spoilers, but
Yeah.
just like in Borderlands 2, in Tiny Tina's DLC, where every character had unique things to say, you have that in this as well. And it is, you can legitimately tell, like, yes, in this situation, this is what this character would have said. I believe, especially
pretty good writing,
especially with Flack. I know you are
Flack.
a huge fan. You will definitely appreciate this DLC. But without spoiling anything, it's basically the wedding of Hammerlock and Wainwright.
Yeah.
And in the standard Borderlands fashion, nothing is ever as easy. Even a wedding. You have Gage, the Necromancer, is the wedding planner. So
nice.
And of course, what Borderlands DLC would be complete without Claptrap?
Oh, I hate Claptrap.
Yeah, he's not a interesting character. I don't think he ever was.
I think in the first one he was fun, for sure. After that, I was done with him.
I always found him annoying.
So basically, you're just again, no spoilers. You are just doing what you can to help Gage get this wedding for these two gentlemen to be as clean as it possibly can.
So, what number is this? The first DLC release?
Second.
The
first
Handsome
DLC
Jackpot.
was the Handsome Jackpot.
Yeah.
Okay, and is there how many were like planned for like a season pass?
So what people have been able to data mine is that there are 2 more, which is the standard fashion for the season pass with Borderlands. What people are really waiting for, though, is where's the 5th Vault Hunter?
That's right, because they always add another one, right? At least one.
Yeah. Well, actually, so if you go, because let's see, in the pre-sequel, it was Hammerlock's sister Aurelia. So you only had 1 extra character then. And then in Borderlands 2, there was just Krieg. And we're waiting for our 5th character.
Wait, I thought Gage was in 2.
Oh, Gage was not DLC.
Oh, my bad.
No,
all right,
Gage,
no, you're right.
Yeah, because it was Zero the Assassin, Axton the Commando.
No, it wasn't Gage, bro. It was because you had Axton. You had
the Sanchez guy.
Yeah,
so you had 6 characters in 2?
I think 2 did have 6 characters. Because they added 2, I think, right?
Gage and Krieg.
Oh, they added Gage and Krieg. Huh.
Yeah. Because I don't remember. I know I would have played her if I could have when it first came out. Yeah.
Okay. But
cool.
But if that, and also just like Blue said, we both have been playing a lot of GTA. It's it's interesting how like you could just really get sucked into some of these missions with this game. Because even and I'm pretty sure I said this before, but we have our own efficient way of like getting the most money we can when we are doing a session, and now it's kind of evolved into, okay, here are the missions, like not even resupplies, but like here are the best missions that will get us money, because while we're doing missions, we're earning money completing the missions on top of the in-game time going by, and we're earning money that way. So, you know, the game, at least for me, I've just been like really reinvigorated with this game. Like anyone who's listening to this podcast, like I definitely want, and I think I can speak for Blue as well, we really want like a dedicated like heist group, because I'm at least on this game every day now. Just getting, well, honestly, just like getting, like, what was it? Just last night, I bought my second warehouse for my nightclub because it's just making me so much money.
Yeah, it's moving fast. It's moving fast.
I will say it's a little bit more fun than you got Stealth, a little bit, I guess, because it depends on who you're playing with. For me,
100%.
fooling around, we were doing like a couple missions, and that was pretty fun. I think the one we had to take down escort these diplomats off the land.
That was a lot of fun with the anti-aircraft.
Ooh, boy, that was surprising.
I see the heist being a lot of fun. Like I said, it depends on who you're playing with.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Yay.
Nice. So that's going to do it for what everyone's been playing this week. We're going to now move on into our recap of Super Smash Sunday, brought to you by Blue. Take it away.
What's going on, y'all? It's Blues News. Let's talk about the Super Smash Sunday recap. Now, last week, we had... I feel like every week we just get better and better games. Like, last week was great.
I agree.
One of the highlights of last week, we had Fresh come through with this pit, and he used that side B. That uppercut, I forget the name of it. We talked about it right before this, and just run out my head. But the fact is, that side B is a nice uppercut that actually has a reflect on it. And we saw that reflect win him the game multiple times. I think one of the most memorable ones was when he reflected Villager's tree off the edge when it looked like he was about to die. And he just won the game out for that. That was amazing to watch. Later on, Jeff was running the table quite a bit with Zelda. And then Sigma said, you know what? Y'all deserve this. And he brought out Toon Link. And he proceeded to beat almost everybody for a good 15, 20 minutes.
Somebody beat me the first round. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah. And then after that, it was just a straight shot until the very last match.
Oh, right. Yeah. Blues Bowser.
I got him. Y'all.
Took a win off my Toon Link. It was all fair and square. Good job. Blues Bowser really been coming a long way.
It was just one. No, I appreciate that.
Yeah, because, there can be some jank in a match.
Yeah. But
Blue Bowser's come a really long way. I'm very proud of Blue for sticking with the game because I know he doesn't like to lose. And so when he was getting beat, oftentimes on Sundays, he would be kind of upset about it. He doesn't like to show it, but he would be very upset about
it. You want to see upset. You should see when him and I were going I think 20, 30 matches in Cineroar versus Bowser, and you want to see Blue upset. You want to because here's the thing, he's not on stream, so it's just not vitriol or anything like that, but just oh, you little son of a no, okay, no, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, you're so close, and I'm just hearing this, just that. Oh. There we go.
It's part of my process.
So yeah, when he's muted up, that's what he's saying.
But I mean, you can see, and not just with Blue, but pretty much everybody who's coming on a regular basis, you can see all of their skill levels growing, and they're trying new characters, they're exceeding with these guys, and getting better with their mains and stuff. It's really cool to see. It elevates everyone's skill level. So
what's cool is when I'm on my Switch and I see the notification from one of our viewers come up and they're on Smash. I'm like, ooh, they practicing right now for Sunday. This is going to be maybe I should get on. Animal Crossing don't need all my attention, but
hey, you still gotta pay off them bells, buddy.
Oh, you ain't wrong. I picked up my turnips this morning too. It's turnip day.
Every Sunday's turnip day.
All right. This is the Smash recap, not Animal Crossing corner.
Yo, we was talking about Villager. It was close.
Yeah, it's a small little time. There's KK Slider on the
map.
City.
Actually.
Yeah, Town and City. We're good.
So yeah, GG to everybody for Super Smash Sunday last week. Hey, and we're looking forward to more good games this week. So yeah, let's do it. Come through 2:30 Eastern every Sunday to about 5:30 Eastern.
Yep.
You see us there throwing hands.
So thank you, Blue. We're gonna move on into our topics. First up, Blue, you actually brought this to our attention.
Back to back, baby. Hey, look, y'all. Coronavirus quarantine. You're inside, right? Not everybody has HBO, but now you can get 500 hours of free HBO. Is reported by IGN, starting on Friday, April the 3rd. So that was this past Friday. So now, if you don't have HBO, you can stream for free 500 hours to help you get through this whole quarantine mess. There's lots of great shows on there.
Oh my God,
some
yes.
of them that we've talked about. Watchmen was one of the most recent shows that's been amazing on there. What are your guys' favorite shows on HBO, if you have some?
Like all time? Or like
it doesn't have to be, but
more
some
recent?
of your favorite ones.
Man, I wish you would have let me know that this question was coming earlier.
Yeah, I know. I just popped it on you. I mean, I Game of Thrones was huge on HBO. I think it kind of made HBO now and go.
It definitely sold the Go, like the streaming aspect of it. But man, HBO has always had fantastic like
top quality.
I was lucky
stuff.
enough to like have HBO like for a long time, like while growing up and stuff. So like I watched The Sopranos, I watched 6 Feet Under. I used to watch their comedies, Arliss. Matter of fact, I'll name that. Watch Veep, which is an HBO series. Mad seasons with Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Elaine from Seinfeld.
I was about to say the girl from Seinfeld.
Yeah, amazingly funny show. And those creators just recently started a new show. It just finished its first season called Avenue 5. And that stars Hugh Laurie, the doctor from House, the main character from House.
Okay. Huh. All right. Yeah, that's really fun. Jeff, Gamer, have y'all been on HBO at all? Seen some stuff that you like?
Most of the movies. I watched
most of the movies.
I watched Dark Phoenix. I watched that movie with Seth Rogen where he's like writing for the chief of staff who's trying to become president.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, and they start like dating or something. I can't remember the name of that movie. It's recent. It's really recent.
Wild. I want to see that.
Yeah.
The last. Go ahead.
Nothing.
I was gonna say the last show I was gonna mention on HBO was Insecure. That's also a really, really good one to watch.
It's okay. Yeah, I like Insecure. I have some issues with it. Matter of fact, have you guys watched Girls? No.
Is that something that I need to watch?
Girls. It's an HBO series.
No.
By Lena, whatever her name is. But like, it's essentially the white girl version of Insecure.
Girlfriends? Oh,
no, of Insecure. Like,
okay,
it's millennials. They're struggling to live out their dreams, like all freaking millennials are doing. But it's girls. It's like female focused. Like it's not about. It's like about the dudes in their life tangentially, but it's about a group of women who are that age range living in a city. One is in New York, the other's in LA. Insecure.
So it's like the opposite of us.
Yes. Basically. But I will say I did not. Girls is an okay show, but I personally have issues with it. And then Insecure came out, and I'm seeing some of those similar issues. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, cool. So, that's that. So while you're staying inside, staying safe, staying at home, check out some shows on HBO. You got 500 hours of that they're helping out with.
Yeah, how many days is that? Gamer, you're a math guy.
Isn't that like 20 days and some change? It's almost 21 days.
Yes, about 21 days.
Boom.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, moving on from the HBO public service announcement, a bunch of sources were reporting recently of leaked information that Nintendo was planning a bunch of remakes for the older 3D Mario games. This was recently confirmed, so we know for a fact Nintendo was going to make remakes of Super Mario Sunshine, Super Mario 64, and I think one other one?
Galaxy.
Super Mario Galaxy.
Wow.
Well, is it just Galaxy or Galaxy 1 and 2?
It's only been confirmed Galaxy.
Okay. I think it's really cool that they're remaking Mario 64 because they've only updated it once when they re-released it on the DS. And that game is still to this day amazing 3D platformer. It kind of set the bar for everything after the fact, and it's still fun as hell. So to give that a new coat of paint, maybe even update the feel of it a bit, sounds like a really cool idea. Same thing with Sunshine, which some people had sort of some control issues with. I like that game. Yeah, I really like Sunshine.
Yeah. It was a very nice change in scenery.
Galaxy I did not like, so I don't
A lot
care
of
about
people
them.
thought that was too much of a change in scenery.
So I was a big fan of actually Paper Mario.
Oh yeah.
And for them to do the 1,000-Year Door on the Switch, yes. I'm concerned about Galaxy 1 and 2 only because of the use of the sensor bar on the Wii version. How is that going to translate with the Joy-Cons? Is it just going to be from where you are and that's how you point your star bits? I kind of had a similar, well, not issue, but a similar concern when The World Ends With You, that was originally on the DS, where you really needed to use a touchscreen. And
that was an amazing game.
Yes, it was. I went through 2 touchscreens on my DS because of that. Just
Yup.
But when that game got ported over to the Nintendo Switch, well, you either use your finger on your Switch system, which when I did in my review for this game, is actually really hard because you have to hold your Nintendo Switch in a way where you can still do this. And like this is almost $300 in my hand, and I'm gonna hold it like that. I'm probably gonna drop it.
Yeah, it's impractical.
So I don't know how well Galaxy's gonna transfer over to the Switch, but Sunshine, oh yeah, I covered this on my podcast. And there's a interesting rendition of me humming Delfino Plaza on there as well. But I would love to have that on my Nintendo Switch. Also, if we just happen to get a better Paper Mario than whatever the Paper Marios that we've had now, like because it was Paper Mario and then 1,000-Year Door and then
like Sticker Star,
and then
Color Splash.
Well, and then Super Paper Mario. That was still.
I played Super Paper Mario. It was okay.
But then they got down to Color Splash, and I don't even. Ooh.
I just want another game. I think there was only one before, but I just want a Bowser protagonist game. Like just let him lead the show.
Something similar to Bowser's Inside Story.
Yeah, that's why I think that was the only one where he was a protagonist.
Well, he wasn't the protagonist. That was a Mario and Luigi game. It's just that he was very heavily involved because they like went inside his body.
Well, I would. Well, technically speaking, Bowser would be considered a protagonist. He actually does deal the killing blow. He actually is in the final battle between Dark Bowser. I would say that he is definitely the protagonist. I mean, at the end of it, there isn't even the Mario and Luigi versus Bowser fight like you have with Superstar Saga. You didn't have it in Partners in Time, but at least with Superstar Saga, once Bowser ate the mushroom, it was still the Mario and Luigi versus Bowser. They're all technically working together. So they're all the protagonists, which in that sense makes Bowser a protagonist.
There's a difference between the protagonist and a protagonist.
True.
And I think that he has been a protagonist in these games that you've mentioned, but never the protagonist.
Yeah, like it's not Super Bowser 3D World or
give me that game. I want that. Give me that one.
So why don't we just say what's on everyone's mind? Excuse me, Mr. Doug Bowser. May we please have a year of Bowser?
I feel like it's coming.
Just give us a year of Bowser,
or maybe he'd be too self-conscious to actually. No. To actually call his tenure at Nintendo the year of Bowser because his name is literally Bowser. I don't know. I might feel some type of way about that.
I will throw my money at any Bowser main game. Like
that'd be cool. I think it'd be
fun. Because Bowser is my absolute favorite villain because he's so rounded. Because he's not just evil to be evil like Ganon. Like he actually has like family ties and people to take care of, like, you know,
because that's a decent reason to be evil.
I mean, and then at the point, you know, he's a hero to his people and a villain to the others, you know.
Like Bowser paid my rent.
He tried so hard. He tried so hard to make his son happy. Like Super Mario Sunshine. Oh man, that hit me in the feels every single time.
Jeff, what do you think about that?
He lied about
he lied about what?
His kid's mother. in Mario.
He did. That is true. That's the plot of Sunshine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
Mama
it is
Peach.
Right, yeah, his son. So Bowser Jr. was missing. Like Bowser Jr.'s trek down evil is the fault of Bowser.
Yeah.
Because all he was trying to do was rescue his mom.
Yeah.
So he's not a bad kid.
I wouldn't say he's a bad kid.
So that's Bowser's
He
fault.
came-
That's evil.
yeah.
He's corrupting young minds.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Let's get off the beaten Bowser train. Let's,
Well, speaking of locomotive vehicles, Activision just won a lawsuit.
Nice. Good
Jeff,
job.
you brought this topic up.
So, Activision landmark case that hasn't been able to use Humvees in the past because GM Motors pretty much said that the use of Humvees confused people, that there was a partnership between the two companies.
Right.
And wasn't. But the case they presented to the judge said that 20% of the people that they surveyed was confused or questioned whether there was a partnership or not. The judge then cited that 20% is not enough.
He said, that's a stupid 20%.
Realism is an artistic goal. The use of Humvees furthers that goal. So now they can actually use Humvees in Call of Duty.
Well, they were using them, right? It's just that the manufacturer,
Without harassment.
yeah, the manufacturer tried to like sue them over it. So they also said in that article something about the gun manufacturers, that Activision used to license guns from manufacturers and then stopped. Yet they still use the same models, right? Like they didn't like stop. They didn't like start making up guns, right?
No, they didn't. But like for example, like so what the case also states that it can use name brand stuff as long as it doesn't change what the real world aspect of it is.
Right.
So like in Hangover, that the guy had a Louis Vuitton bag.
Mm-hmm.
That the reasonable moviegoer understood that just because he had a Louis Vuitton bag in the movie,
Doesn't mean that Louis Vuitton sponsored that.
Exactly. So he said that gamers, he thinks that gamers would be able to discern the same thing between the use of this gun or the use of this Humvee, that there wouldn't be a clear partnership or that they sponsor this particular game.
Like it's the realism aspect. The fact that if this is supposed to take place in a real world, these guys would use this stuff.
Be there.
So it doesn't necessarily mean that, the manufacturer footed the bill for the entire game or any part of the game or whatnot. Like that those two things aren't interconnected, and that's kind of what and honestly, I find that kind of liberating that the court system is saying, well, if movie people can tell the difference, why couldn't gamers tell the difference? Because a lot of times they like to kind of put games and game players in like this kind of lower category as it being kind of a lesser art form.
I think it's kind of BS that the Humvee manufacturers went after them. Like, one, they've been doing this for years. Two, you see all these other examples, and nobody. I don't know who actually cared about that. I feel like somebody hyped them up like, yo, get your money, bro.
Right.
You need to sue these people. Get your money, bro. Like,
it's attorneys. It's attorneys.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that seemed like a really greedy move.
Yeah,
really greedy move.
Because you figure if they're making Humvees for the military, they got a scheduled check coming in like on a regular.
They are getting paid.
Why are you trying to dig into this pocket?
It's greed. Pure greed.
Yeah. That's the way I look at it. And I'm glad that they didn't get their way.
That one makes me wonder where certain games will use guns but completely change the name of them. Or they'll use like Russian names like a Dragunov or stuff like that.
Right.
Or
like what it's supposed to be, but they don't copy it.
That's how I feel about GTA. Like almost everything in GTA, you know what it's a parody of. Mm-hmm. But it's far enough where none of them are going to say nothing about it.
Cars in there are just, they have their own names. So like it might look like some, I think there's some that make it over. I think there's a Corvette. No, that's not a Corvette.
I know what you're talking about. It definitely looks like a Corvette.
Well,
it looks like a Bugatti. Yeah, but none of it is like branded.
Like there's one, it's supposed to look like a Jaguar, but it's an Ocelot.
Right.
Yeah. Instead of Chase Bank, you got Maze Bank. You know what I mean? Different things like that. Instead of Facebook, you got Life Invader. Like everybody knows.
Like that's kind of on the nose.
Yeah, it's 100%. It's Facebook is blue. This thing is red, and it's got you get it. You get it. Oh man, you came in real quiet. I don't know what you said just there.
Invade your life.
Invade your life. So I do have a question that kind of raises from this ruling, right?
Yeah.
If, say, you're going for realism, and a lot of games do that nowadays, especially games like GTA where you're in an actual city, everything is kind of functioning of its own, where does that line start to get drawn? Because, sure, a lot of car manufacturers historically have been very, very picky about, licensing their stuff to games in the past. But what about other things? Like, what if you had a Walmart on a corner in a map, because this map is supposed to be some suburb in America, and that's what they would have on the outskirts or whatnot. Like, would Walmart be able to, no, you can't use our logos, but it's like, but that's realism. Like, this is a place where that would be. What about Microsoft Flight Simulator, right? They're using actual GPS data to build the worlds that you're flying over. Like, or if any of those buildings have branding on them, like say you pass by the Prudential Center in Newark, like, would that be an issue?
What also adds to the fact that there was a ruling earlier this year actually last year, where it was high school players wanted to get paid for their use in the NCAA games.
Right. Okay. They just said that that's allowed now, right?
Yes. So then it's a fine line between, because think about it, the use of a person's likeness and something that a person created is very, very close. So like if I made, some type of art or something, I would want to be compensated for using my art or something that I created in that game, just as if it was me.
But that's more of a private sector and not in the public domain. I think really the line gets drawn is how you use it. Now, if the focus of this video game was Walmart's evil, yeah, I'm gonna have some problems. You know what I mean? But if I'm just driving by a Walmart, I don't think there should be a problem.
And if you were recreating what's already there, like say this neighborhood has a Walmart, you drive by it in this game, and there's the Walmart, you probably can't fight that, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you just make up a town and then you put a Walmart in there for a specific reason, that might be
that could be a little more
trying to
sketchy,
pushing it.
So if the use of their logo or whatever it is, if that's going to damage their brand, I think that does kind of give them a case.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Between use to further realism or copyright infringement.
Okay.
So the one thing that this actually ties into, are any of you familiar with the debacle of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite?
Yes.
No.
Where they couldn't use the X-Men characters or something, right?
Well, there was many parts of it, but the part that I'm talking about with this was actually Marvel, and how during all of the advertisements, Marvel wanted none of their characters to be in weak positions, to be compromised, to look like they were losing.
Right.
But this is a fighting game. Like, someone has to win and someone has to lose.
So Marvel wanted all the heroes to beat up all the Capcom characters and not the other way around in all the promo stuff.
Exactly. They made it to where it's like, okay, if we're gonna have our stuff in here, our stuff has to be the best, untouched. We always come out on top. So in your sense, with having a Walmart, it's like, okay, if Walmart is here, nothing can happen to Walmart. No explosions.
Yeah.
No nothing. Absolutely nothing if you are having Walmart in this game. I want absolutely nothing terrible to happen, absolutely nothing that could tarnish this.
But the difference with that is one is actually licensed. Like Marvel vs. Capcom is a licensed product. They paid for those characters, so it came with those caveats from Marvel. This is an instance of, if we're going to recreate something, it's just going to be there because it's there. And so Walmart wouldn't necessarily have the say as to, I guess, what you can do with it. But like Jeff was saying, if something negative befalls it,
Comes out.
then that's when they can probably be like, no, you can't use it then. Because you're sure it's there on this in this neighborhood or whatnot. But no, a bomb didn't hit it. There was no terrorist attack here. So no, we don't want to be involved in that.
And you also gotta look at it like this. A building's a building. So no matter what, Walmart is a building, it's a store. Even if you called it Cloud9,
Mm-hmm.
video game, it still will be what it is, a department store. That Humvee, you can change the name of it, but it doesn't change the fact or take away from the realism. So even if you didn't call it a Humvee, you call it a bugger or something, or gave it a different name. Changing the name of it wouldn't take away from the realism. It would just be seen as a nickname. Difference with that is,
I disagree.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I think seeing Humvee in the game makes you feel like, oh, this is real. Seeing that brand that you know is actually associated with it. So I think actually changing that does take away from the realism.
how many times have you looked at a Humvee and looked for the indication on the back of it that said Humvee?
I mean, if I see it, I know what it is, but I'm not looking for it specifically.
You mean like in real life?
I mean, like in
Both.
the game, in either or. Like if you
Oh.
saw a Humvee, I'm like, oh, that's a Humvee. I'm not gonna go look and see if there's an indication on the back that the name is the name or whatever it is.
But like
But
say,
it's the details. The devil's in the details. If
yeah,
I
like say
see
some
that,
character.
I'd be like, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, because you would
You know,
look at
and
it and say it's
yeah.
a Humvee. Say some character in the thing is like, oh, get to the bugger. You'd be like, what is he talking
What's
about?
a bugger?
And then you get pulled out, and that's the loss of immersion.
Or not even reference it. But the difference, but I'm saying is the difference is no matter what you name. So like in most games, if there's a superstore there, they might not call it a Walmart. They give it another name. That doesn't take away from it being a superstore.
Yeah, because
I think
that's
it depends
that's
on the
like a
setting.
framework. Yeah, because it's like because then you're saying this could be any of these big box retailers or whatnot. Like in this Call of Duty example, like specifically soldiers use Humvees in this way.
Yeah.
So it's like in order to feed that immersion and make this be as realistic and close to true life as possible, then you use all the stuff that they use. Because just one of the things being off just makes someone go like, oh, well, that's not right. And then that's, a criticism to the realism aspect. So, I mean, I don't know. There is a line there, and I can definitely see why a company wouldn't want their brand to be shown in a negative light, because a lot of video games do feature tons of violence and, weird, situations that they maybe don't want to be mixed up in. But if the game is using it the way it's used in regular life, like the Humvees are combat vehicles and it's used in the combat game with soldiers who drive those vehicles, so it's like you can't really say they're doing anything wrong to your brand. That's what your brand does.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, anything else on this or any other First Amendment rights of video games?
First Amendment rights of video games.
I mean, that's what it is. What it boils down to.
No, you're absolutely right, and it's a good way to look at it.
Okay, so we'll move on from that topic. We're going to move into further delays due to, issues. Blue, you brought this one up.
Man, so I feel for my gamer brothers who are PlayStation loyalists. This is a huge blow, I think, to the brand. But right now, The Last of Us Part 2 has been indefinitely delayed. I think that's the word. Delayed indefinitely, with no set release date. It was already pushed back from, I think it was February.
It was February?
February. Yeah, late February. They pushed it back to May 29th. And then now, that's not even going to happen. So it's definitely right now they're looking very low chance that The Last of Us Part 2 is going to show up on the PS4 at all. But they said they still love the project. They're not saying it's going to come out eventually, but they're trying to give that vibe out. But they haven't actually said it's going to come out eventually. It's not just The Last of Us 2, but it's another Marvel's Iron Man VR is another game that they've been working on. And this is Naughty Dog announcing this, that this isn't going to come through right now. Coronavirus is really pushing production back quite a bit, and they were already having bugs and things to deal with before the quarantine. So
yeah, I'm assuming it uprooted their studio, kind of forced people to either work from home or not work at all.
Exactly.
And then with the console coming out later this year, this was supposed to be on the PS4. There's going to be a brand new console probably by the time this comes out. They may have said, you know what, forget this.
The PS4 version.
Yeah, hold it off. Let's rebuild some stuff, put it on PS5. So I mean, what are the chances you guys think of The Last of Us 2 never coming out?
I doubt that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to do it.
Yeah,
to get this game out. I don't think it's going to be Duke Nukem Forever levels of waiting for something to come out. Like, it's not going to be that long, hopefully, but
no, Kingdom Hearts 3. Yeah, I think it has to come out. I think it has to come out, especially for PS5 sales. I think there are so many people invested in the Last of Us story that they couldn't just drop this off and lay it off to the wayside. I don't think it's going to be something like that.
I mean, I agree. Ultimately, I do think it will see the light of day.
Hopefully sooner rather than later, though.
But like, yeah, with the new console coming out, I just can't imagine that this still comes out on PS4. Because like,
oh no, not on PS4. I wouldn't put my money on that. But PS5, I feel like it has to come out on the PS5 if the PS5 is going to be any kind of decent console right now. One of Sony and PlayStation's biggest claims is their exclusives, and you cannot drop one of their biggest exclusives.
Right? Yeah. I can't think of anything that's better. God of War now, but before God of War, The Last of Us was kind of their shining beacon of a franchise.
Yeah.
So they'll take care of it. I feel like they just don't want to release it in all this chaos and have it lose sales or whatnot. And if the team needed any more time to kind of get their stuff situated, they're just going to give them all of it. Like so forget release dates. Just make sure it's done whenever it's done. Put it on the PS5 when that's released. If it takes that long, so I don't know. I think we're looking at like maybe another year of like development. So we won't see. I think we won't hear from Last of Us 2 for some time.
Yeah, I agree.
But moving on, Gamer, you brought up this next topic.
Oh boy. All right. So, as we all know, everyone everywhere is trying to move everything over to the cloud. Nvidia has one, Sony has one, Microsoft has one, Google has one, Facebook is trying to get one, and now Amazon is throwing their cloud gaming hat in the ring with a gaming platform codenamed Project Tempo. And this Tempo is supposed to release its launch title is supposed to be a massively multiplayer online role-playing shooter called Crucible. Now, I saw that and I thought, wait, do you mean Destiny? Like, is that what you're going for? Because like the Crucible was in Destiny, so I'm like, oh, okay, I see where they're possibly going. And correct me if I'm wrong, but Amazon owns Twitch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So if Amazon owns Twitch and then they're also releasing their own cloud gaming with that as well, I can see I'm starting to see how Amazon can be almost better as far as this interconnection than with Google, because with Google's Stadia, it was just badly advertised.
It was implemented, honestly.
Like I would
give that. And just doesn't. To this day, I still don't think it does any of the stuff that it was promising it does. Right?
It is. They are doing it, but it's not as if they are saying, "Oh, hey, this big announcement, we finally released this." No, it just happens to work. It's not like we've been getting any big news about all these things that Stadia is now doing. They're just kind of doing it. And then people are like, oh, the share button works now. And then later, once everybody else talks about it, Google says, oh, wait, this just in for all of you people enjoying Stadia. The share button works. And it's like, yeah, we got that from Dave 2 weeks ago. Like,
yeah, it sounds like they're really slow on their, they're still trying to figure out how to talk to gamers. That's what it seems like.
Now with this Project Tempo, we don't have anything, and unfortunately, just like we recently covered, the coronavirus is pushing everything back. So there is the official start date for this cloud gaming service is 2021, but the idea is that the moment that it's over, it will be hitting the ground running. And
Really?
oh yes, and I can see that with well, because the thing is, for those who have like Google Home, if you have Stadia, you basically just say, "Okay, Google," and then it just does whatever, and boom, you're playing. I imagine it's going to be something
like
with
Alexa,
with
right?
the Echo Dot,
Alexa.
like, "Hey Alexa, boom," start this up. Because you can already tie Google Home to your Xbox and have
Yeah.
it, turn on and play a game. There's absolutely
You can do
no
the same.
reason
You can do the same thing with Alexa. Actually, like I tell
there
my
we go.
Alexa to
Yeah,
turn on my
this
Xbox.
is going to be now. What's going to be interesting for me is if they're going to be releasing the cloud service similar to Google, and Google's controller basically looks something like a Pro controller on a Nintendo Switch. I want to know what their controller is going to look like. Is it going to look something similar to the Sony's controller?
That's an interesting angle to go to. I would like to see them do that.
I would like
then it
that.
would, yeah, because it would give
I would
you
like
that
that.
duality.
Exactly. It would really separate them. It would really tell them apart between, oh, this is Google's and then this is ours. Like that clear difference in controller.
It's funny you mentioned controllers because here's my Switch controller. I don't like it. Okay, I think it's too bulky. I feel like it's gonna fall apart at any moment. So I started looking on Amazon for some other controllers, and I was noticing a lot of them, even the ones straight from Nintendo, not even the third party ones, straight from Nintendo, they look like this, and I don't like it. I feel like it's too big for a Nintendo console in general. Like it is not this serious, y'all. But yeah, it's just so wide. I don't like it at all, and so I had to look at some other ones that are a little bit smaller and did look closer to the PlayStation controller. That I was kind of digging those ones. So it would be cool to have another console that has a smaller controller than this.
Well, with Amazon kind of cramping Google's space in terms of cloud gaming, we do know that Microsoft is also in this space, right? Like they're and like they've said in the past now that they don't look at Sony and Nintendo as competitors. They're looking at Google and Amazon. So they already had some, because they were talking specifically about cloud services, but Amazon using their cloud infrastructure for gaming also now makes them a direct competitor to Microsoft's cloud gaming stuff and Google's cloud gaming stuff.
Yeah, I mean, so many things, like so many things, so many businesses run off of AWS. So
true.
The fact that, like, if they wanted to try to have cloud gaming in that infrastructure, it's almost already set.
Easy.
You would have the understanding that Google would already be there, and unfortunately, it's not. So for Amazon to possibly come out with, oh, by the way, with Amazon Prime, you get Twitch Prime. With Twitch Prime, hey, you're already added to this cloud gaming service. Oh, wait, you have the Echo Dot. Well, in addition to your Amazon purchases, you're gonna, and I'm just throwing this out there.
Yeah, it's all connected.
Yeah, it's just the Amazon Game Pass. You just tap another button on there
because
they have these games ready.
They already do like the games with gold type thing, where like if you have Twitch Prime, they give you like a couple free games every month. They're not like great games, but they would still.
And also, you got to think about it, they already have games coming out, so it's not like Stadia where they're just coming out with the system. They weren't making their own games. They have an MMO coming out, and they had I think it was a first-person shooter coming out, and that Crucible game they already have groundwork laid for it. It's going to be a hero shooter where each character is going to have different abilities. Kind of reminiscent.
Oh, I did hear. They said it was like classes and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. And then, like I said, the MMO coming out. What was it called? The New World.
Yes. Yeah.
So they already have things in the mix to kind of just put right over where Google came out. They were just putting out existing titles that were already
like
out.
Yeah, like old stuff. They were selling for like full
Destiny.
price. Full price on their store. They're telling you go leave your ecosystem from wherever you're at and then come pay us money to play over here. And like honestly, Amazon already kind of has a foothold, like because they do have people who pay for Twitch Prime and Amazon Prime. Like that's a yearly service that you're already signed up for. If they add games to that service that you already pay for, son, they're in the door.
Wait, hold on.
And that's why Xbox sees them as a competitor, because that's basically
Thank you. I was just about to say that. And what does that sound like? Xbox Game Pass and Xbox Game Pass Ultimate.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that. It's like
that's exactly what it is.
It's like you're already here. We already got this for you. We're just adding something on top. You're already here. We're gonna make this so easy for possible. You. So easy. Just like Amazon with their one-click buy, we are reducing the effort it takes for you to come play with us. The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. For all you IT security nerds out there, you will know this phrase: path of least resistance.
Yep.
That's a sociology phrase.
Like, what is the easiest
different
way?
To electrician.
What's the easiest way for me to get this thing? Oh, you have your phone? Oh, wow, there's a new game out already. Oh, remote download? Bet. Okay, cool.
Right, yeah, like make it simple, make it easy, put all your stuff in one place. Amazon already has so much of stuff, which is why it's so, I keep going back to this, but it's so crazy that Google did not do this properly. All they had to do, and they have the money to eat up the cost, all they had to do was give us a Google Game Pass. And people would have jumped on this streaming service.
There's so many people that are just Google fans in general.
Yes, like me. Like me.
Yeah.
I'm one of those.
Yeah. And well, here's the thing. They did that. Unfortunately, they did that in the mobile store. They did not do that.
They did, yeah.
They did
like
the whole Google
thing.
Exactly, where it's like, oh yeah, pay this much, you could download all these games that would normally be premium. Boom.
Ain't nobody care.
And that it was not focused directly. And that was one of my criticisms for Stadia, was that Google, who has a history of releasing amazing things, but not the first time. Like when like Allo first came out, not a lot of people knew what the heck that was. But when they started using it, it was like, wow, this is an amazing messaging app. And then it was just gone. And same thing with Google Inbox. Google Inbox was an amazing app. It gave you the ability to just instantly make a reminder.
And then they reverted back to the
and they just reverted.
Email.
And an excellent thing that they should have put on Stadia. I don't know if it was possible, but Dream, the engine where you can go in and make your own games, which was kind of what Project Spark was supposed to be.
I heard about that.
Yeah,
that'd have been fun.
It's a lot more to work with as opposed to what Spark gave you. This you could actually build like detailed worlds. Like there's I think somebody in there remade before the Final Fantasy VII remake came out. They actually remade that in a 3D version with live action combat in the actual Dream. So I think that they need things like that are groundbreaking, that are going to pull people in that nobody else has or is doing. Just bringing something out like Destiny on the Stadia,
right?
Bringing out Borderlands 3. I already have that somewhere else, because it's been out for a while. So if I was in the field, I already have it.
Yeah, they're not making the case for their platform, like either by giving out free stuff or making it, the barrier to entry super low, or by innovating, because that's kind of how Nintendo kind of skirts around a lot of these other technological things, because they innovate gameplay wise, and you can't play the kind of games that they have on their system anywhere else. So like what else? Like, what else is there? Honestly, this is what I'm thinking at this point. Amazon is looking at cloud. Google's looking at cloud. Microsoft's looking at cloud.
Yeah.
Sony and Nintendo do not have the resources to really follow suit. Is it possible that we can see a shift from conventional at-home gaming to kind of a cloud-centric? Well, maybe not solely cloud, but like cloud is the popular one, and then the other ones are like fledgling.
Minor.
Yeah.
Well, I would say that we had a similar conversation when we were trying to figure out what the new console
right.
Like. So I think that the new next gen cutting edge, the next frontier is cloud. And I think that I will say in Sony's case, those who do not innovate, and Nintendo's case, those who, and this may not,
they innovate weirdly.
hold on. There's Sony that will not innovate towards cloud gaming, and I would say Nintendo doesn't have to. And I would say Nintendo doesn't have to because where they are, no one else can touch them. No
100%.
one else can bother Nintendo, so Nintendo's fine where they are. Sony, on the other hand, isn't where Nintendo is, and they don't have the resources to get to where Google,
Xbox,
Amazon,
and
and Microsoft are. So it's going to be up to them to say, okay, are you going to make something new, or you're going to try to fight with the ones on the left, the ones on the right? Because I'm seeing people shift away, and they are either some would call the Switch just a port machine, but let's face it, it's selling like it just is. And then you have cloud gaming where you can play on your phone, you have on your computer, on your console here, and then you have Sony, which is going to be where?
Like just the way it's always been, like just the historical one.
And that's exactly why the Last of Us 2 getting delayed, I think, is such a huge blow for Sony in general, because one of their biggest swords that they were swinging around was exclusives, and if you don't have those exclusives, what do you got?
I think the same thing goes for Nintendo. I think if without Nintendo's first party games, I don't think they have much.
You're right. I agree with that.
I don't. The only reason I say that is because couch co-op is still completely in Nintendo's bag, and that alone, like the fact that my wife basically stole my Nintendo Switch system from me and is now playing Animal Crossing, and she just gets hooked just like that, not being a gamer. And there are
but that's a first party game.
Well, true, but is that even couch co-op? Because like you guys can't play together. Like you can sit next to each other and play with two characters together.
Yes. On the same Switch?
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, on the same.
I had no idea.
Yeah, a lot of people have been doing it. They've been doing anyway. There's a lot of going on in Animal Crossing, but that is a couch co-op game as well.
So, but I definitely see where you're coming from, Jeff. As far as without those, Nintendo doesn't have a whole lot, except nostalgia and history. Like that's they'll have that. And
if nobody came out with first party games, which Xbox really hasn't been doing, who would survive? If everybody just left off of third-party games and their internal infrastructure, who would survive at the end of the year?
I think everyone's built for that fight.
Would be Xbox.
You think
everyone's built for that fight?
I think Xbox has been doing it. I mean, because what first-party games have they been putting out that's been putting them on the map?
But the thing is, in terms of sales, they're behind all the other ones specifically because of that. They are still a success. Like they're not doing as well as everybody else, but they are still successful in terms of a console maker. Do you get what I mean? Like they're not losing money on Xbox One. They're just not making as much money as the other guys because they're selling more because of their exclusives. Mm-hmm. So I get what he's saying. Like if everything was on everything.
Yeah, but and I think it goes back down to they're not all equipped for that fight, and that's not what they're built for, and that's why you have these seemingly two pools of consoles. You got the clouds, and then you got Nintendo, and that's where we're trying to find out where the middle child is. Sony, PlayStation, where you going, baby? Talk to us.
Well, no, honestly, it feels like Sony is kind of in the Nintendo camp now because they're kind of falling behind in terms of just keeping up with the future of the industry and the technology. Like Sony, yes, they're building a super powerful console. It's going to have a solid state hard drive, but it just doesn't seem built for this cloud future. But they talking like
they sit at the bigger table.
Who Sony is.
And you also got to think about this. This Sony came from the unwillingness of Nintendo to evolve.
Right. Yeah. They are tied to them in that way.
So I think they're both in the same spot as far as stubbornness in order to innovate and to follow what everybody else is doing because they want to do their own thing. They think if I'm doing what I want to do, nobody's going to beat us. We can do what we want to do because nobody can touch us. And both are living off the lifeblood of their first-party games. Once those first-party games start to trickle out, they're going to be in trouble, and we're starting to see some of that with the delay of The Last of Us. A lot of first-party games are getting delayed. Others might come off on a better end as opposed to other ones who survive off of those games.
I want to note, too, and just kind of to your point, Sony doesn't exclusively have Final Fantasy titles anymore. And that was another blow to the sword that they
catalog, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Because now we playing a whole bunch of it on the Xbox right now. and then they're going to be releasing more in Game Pass. So
now, is that the same time, or is it just, do they have a timed exclusive?
It's been timed for the last couple. Like, all these Final Fantasies have never been on Xbox for the most part, and they're just now coming. So I wonder if going forward that's going to change. We know the Final Fantasy VII Remake is a Sony exclusive for now, but the following year, who knows where it goes.
Yeah, I mean, same thing with Borderlands 3. It was exclusive to the Epic Store, and then after that was over, it just exploded everywhere right after that. Like, and I forgot how long it was. I think it was like a year that it was exclusive to the Epic Game Store, and then...
You mean in the PC?
PC, yeah.
Right, okay, yeah, because they couldn't get on Steam.
Yeah. And then the moment it got on Steam, sales just exploded. Like...
And that goes back to
goodness,
being convenient. Because could you still play it through Steam if you didn't purchase it from them?
No, you. And the thing, honestly, this is a tangent, but I find that whole Steam versus Epic Game Store beef like stupid. Like, people were saying they were taking a moral stance and not buying their game on Steam because they're monopolizing or like they're taking away like their friends list and whatnot. It's a free client. You download Epic Game Store on your PC. The game is right there. It costs the same amount of money. All your friends who play on PC can do the exact same thing. You guys can have your Discord chat friend list. Like, it's not an issue. Yeah, it's not an issue. So people,
it's kind of like in the gaming world, that's first world problems.
Yes, like there's no reason for people to say I'm never going to use Epic Game Store because of this. Honestly, Epic was paying the developers more money for the exclusivity. Like, they were saying you get a higher split of the revenue if you come exclusively with us. So why wouldn't they take that?
Makes sense.
I don't know. It's stupid. It's a tangent. My bad.
All right. It
But anything else on the cloud future?
Not for me, man. I'm just excited. As always, I'm excited to see where it goes. I love reveals. I don't like doing a whole bunch of research right away. I like getting wowed by something and then doing the research. So I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm
interested to see
what our
especially versus what Google has done. I'm interested to see what Amazon's launch of this kind of service looks like.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll move on to our final topic. Jeff, what do you got?
Oh, so Bethesda recently announced that they will not be doing a digital conference like their competitors, Microsoft and Ubisoft. They will be instead distributing information periodically through the rest of the year.
How does this sound? Honestly, I'm of two minds about this news because Bethesda kind of has been on everyone's bad side like the last 2 years or so.
Yeah, I feel like they needed this. I feel
like this break, right?
If anybody else needed to put out a good showing, I felt like they need to.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you that.
Like, hey, this is what we're working on. This is what we got coming. Forget the past. Look forward to this.
And they are kind of riding high off of Doom Eternal's launch because that's been getting like high scores everywhere, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So this might be the good time to actually take a break.
I'm on the other hand about that. Like I said, I feel like they need good news. They need more than Doom Eternal. They need something like, hey, this is what we got coming. Forget about Fallout 76.
No one will ever forget. You never forgive, never forget.
Here's me. Man. You flash me a cutscene from Elder Scrolls 6, I'll forget all about Fallout. What was it called? Exactly.
Right. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people would be in that camp, honestly.
Yes. I think that's why they're taking so long and being so secretive about it. They want to make sure when they put this out, it's going to ban. Because to me, it's one of those games where you think about Elder Scrolls and you think about fan expectation.
Mm-hmm.
And you cannot fall short of that.
I was going to ask, okay, so speaking of fan expectation for specifically Elder Scrolls, right? I've played a couple of, I played Oblivion, I played Skyrim for a bit, and I understand when I play those games, I start off and I'm sucked in, right, for a good couple days. anything that distracts me. If I play another game and I come back, I don't know where I'm at, and I feel like I need to start over. Right now, that might just be me, and I'm maybe not reading the journal enough or anything like that. But what is the main appeal, especially for the Elder Scrolls Online games? What's the main appeal for you, Jeff? For Elder Scrolls, is it the story? Is it the combat? Is it the classes? Is it the freedom? What is it for you that really makes it tick? And why will you lose your mind when Elder Scrolls 6 flashes a good cutscene?
For me, it's all of those things. So I played Oblivion, didn't really get into it.
Okay.
You leveled up for running, for swimming, you leveled up for things, just doing. It didn't really take to me. So then I'm like, okay, so Skyrim comes out and I play Skyrim, and I immediately loved it because every choice was yours. I could choose to do this quest. I could choose to kill the person. I could kill everybody if I wanted to.
Yeah, true.
I could be a Nord. I could be a Redguard. I could be a Dark Elf. I could use a sword. I can use 2 swords. I could use
you
three
probably
swords.
played a human, didn't you?
No, I played.
You were a human.
First time I played, I was a Nord. Yes,
It was a default human.
First time I played, I was a Nord. I did 2-handed weaponry, but I could do what I want. I could be a blacksmith.
Right.
I could be part of the Fighters Guild. I could be a vampire. I could be whatever I wanted to be. I could be, and do it the way I wanted to do it. And there's so much lore there. The lore is just there waiting to be soaked up. You can go anywhere, anytime you want.
Right. So
the thing about
that for me made it feel too open-ended, and I didn't know what the story of Elder Scrolls was. I knew what my story was because I was just kind of making it happen.
I think that's kind of the point.
Yeah.
Is that the point?
Yeah,
okay. That's what I'm asking.
Your story, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So there's a main story, and that unfolds depending on your actions, but there's also all these little side stories.
I don't think I've played more than 5
Brotherhood.
missions of a main story from Elder Scrolls game.
Oh man.
I think as soon as they let me do what I want, I just go off and start killing people and messing with people.
I think that's kind of how most people play that game, because I never finished the main plot line when I played Skyrim, and I played over like 100 hours of Skyrim.
Yeah.
I finished the main plot line.
Okay. So what I would say is it's definitely, so here's the main story. How do you want to go about it?
Exactly.
For example, my wife reads a lot of web comics, and I like customizing a character's attributes to the same level that Blue likes to customize the person's hair.
Okay.
So for example,
that's fair. I love it.
So for example, I downloaded Fallout 4, and I was like, so honey, I need, like, I just said, hey, give me a character for Fallout 4, and she's like, Agatha Heterodyne, which for those of you who don't know is the main character and the webcomic Girl Genius. And so it's like, okay, what does Agatha do? How does she look? Like, what quirks? So
you like to recreate folks into games.
Correct. Like I've put Sly Cooper in Fallout. I put James Bond. I put Thor. I've made Saitama. All these Yusuke Urameshi. And it's like, okay, Yusuke Urameshi is here, and these people are telling him, hey, you need to go do this. Well, what would Yusuke do? Would he do it, or would he, punch them? And it's like, oh, well, I'm sorry, I didn't like the way you said that to me. Knocks your head off and runs away. And that's the beauty of it. It's like, it's the main story. How are you, or the character you've made, gonna go about to do these missions, if you even decide to do them? Because I think the best example doesn't actually come from Bethesda. It's actually the Outer Worlds. And I say that game specifically because the story will progress even if you kill every single quest giver. The story, you will get to the end of the story even if you killed every single one, some way, somehow. Now, mind you, you will be a terrible person, feared and loathed by all.
Yeah.
Because you've just gone into town. You just gone into towns like, hey, how you doing? Pop. and that was the person that was supposed to give you the quest. And
but
then
the world reacts to you accordingly, is what you're saying.
yes, and like. And the beauty of it is, it's like the person that you're supposed to be helping from the beginning looks at you and it's like, well, I guess you did solve all the problems by killing everyone, you psychotic maniac.
All right, but to pull things back to the lack of Bethesda's E3 showing.
Yeah.
With some other people like Microsoft and Ubisoft saying that they're going to do digital versions, with IGN saying that they're going to do a summer of like announcements, from developers and publishers and stuff like that. Like, what do you think kind of impact this will have on Bethesda if they just bow out? I mean, because they are going to do periodic announcements.
Yeah, on their own.
So I mean, will this really affect them much? Like, or is this kind of a get out of jail free card for kind of past transgressions?
I think it's, like you said, a get out of jail free card. So it's a way they can take more time, they can polish what they have and release it when they want, instead of being put in that June 11th or 12th or whatever spot and be forced to show it. You would think, though, that they would have been working on some of this stuff already to show and maybe decided not to, so some of them might be ready, or that they just were always planning not to show up and just waited to kind of be included with everybody else not showing up.
Yeah, because there were a couple of things that they said that they were planning to show off. They were going to show off gameplay from that Deathloop game that had the two black main characters killing each other over and over again.
Yeah.
What was the other one? The horror game, Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were going to show. Yeah, they were going to show off some stuff from that. And then people like Jeff were hoping for Elder Scrolls and Starfield information, even though that's probably still a ways out there. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, they have more time to maybe make the stuff they were going to show more fleshed out, to maybe get some other projects that aren't ready yet to get shown at some later point. It's kind of just on, because honestly, developers have always complained about the crunch period involved with getting like a playable or viewable version of the game they've been working on ready for E3. Like, it takes time out of the regular development to kind of build E3 showings.
And I think that's in, not to make light of the situation by any means, I think coronavirus is somewhat of a blessing for that aspect of their production. Yeah. Because I think they have a good excuse to slow down and really put their heart into their work. Not that they haven't already, but it's an easier time to work on it.
I think so. I think that's what they're going for. Like, they had the option. Like, we can either go digital with the stuff we've been doing, or you know what? Can we just not?
Let's take a break. Let's take a break. Y'all take tomorrow off, and then we'll just see what it looks like afterwards.
Now, what do you think the benefits of the people who will do one? What do you think will come out of it for them?
Digital drops?
Yeah.
They're going to get sales today. I think the day that they drop, if everyone's still in quarantine, you're going to get a lot of digital sales.
I would love to see the translation because I mean, what could they get? Pre-orders. There would be those games that they'll be announced and won't be out. I would love to see
You said the P word. Ugh.
I would love to see the numbers of games that are pre-ordered when they're announced during E3, as opposed to games that aren't.
Right, like if there's like a boost in terms of just the messaging.
Yeah, like there's 11% of games that are announced on E3 see a 10% gain in pre-orders.
Those numbers probably exist somewhere. I just wouldn't know where to look for them.
Maybe
like the NPD group or something.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Maybe ESA has numbers on that.
Maybe.
Because you figure there would be.
They should.
They would track something like that to see. And also, you got to think about a lot of stuff they announced day one of, some games are announced.
Yeah, it's like, out now, or free to download, or try out the demo, or sign up for the beta. Yeah, like I feel like, a lot of that stuff is probably still going to happen. There will still be excitement because it's going to be news about a new thing in the video game world, and people are always excited for that. It doesn't matter what time of year it happens. It's just E3 tends to consolidate it. I feel like in general, we might just see more of that stuff spread out over a longer period of time because they're not forced to do it right within that week of E3. So we'll probably get, like just like that coronavirus chart. You'll get like a little uptick of of news, and it can hit a little peak, and it'll slowly go back down.
Oh, man. Yeah. Yep.
So, anything else on Bethesda not holding their E3 conference?
No.
Nope.
I think they're
We're going to move on to the mailbag. Snake 360 is back at it again, asking us the all-important questions. This one's a bit of a doozy. I'm going to try to summarize it a little bit, so don't be mad that this isn't verbatim. But Snake 360 asks, basically he states Mega Man Battle Network is one of his favorite series. What are our experiences with the series? And also, what do we know about One Step from Eden, which is a new game that's kind of in the vein of the Battle Network series? Do we feel like it kind of fills the void that Battle Network has left? I know you guys have all played Battle Network. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I didn't play. I played it on an emulator back in the day, and I liked it a lot. I feel like it was a really cool grid strategy game, and I kind of have to answer Snick's both of his questions at the same time, talking about One Step from Eden, because I think One Step from Eden, gameplay wise, mechanic wise, it looks very similar, but I would not say it's a replacement, considering Mega Man has so much history.
It's a franchise character. Like, there's a lot of kind of just touchstones in the world.
A lot, yeah.
That you're just not going to get from like an off-brand version.
Exactly. So that being said, I think that One Step from Eden looks gorgeous. I think it has potential to be a great game, but will it replace Mega Man Battle Network? I do not believe so.
Gamer Jeff, what about you guys? What are your experiences with Battle Network?
So I'm just looking at the pictures of it again. I played Battle Network, but it was a long time ago on Game Boy Advance. It was a good game. The battles were pretty cool. I did like the gameplay. The characters were pretty unique because they had a show that I watched.
Right, there was a show.
That kind of
was the show good?
Over. The show wasn't bad. It was pretty good.
I loved it. Sorry. Yes, I loved it. Go ahead.
But to answer your question about what was the new one?
One Step from Eden.
It looks like Battle Network meets Fire Emblem to me. I mean, which isn't bad.
Ooh, that's a good way to describe that.
Yes, it does look exactly like that. But in order for me to determine how it stacks up, I would need to actually play both of them recently, because Battle Network was some time ago.
Yeah,
makes sense.
So it would give a better idea if I played both of them a little bit more recently, and maybe side by side to see how it stacks up.
Got you.
What about you, Gamer? Your thoughts?
So when the question was first asked, I went back to me and my bro Jeremiah. His mother would pick me up from my house, and then we would get our Game Boy Advance and Game Boy Advance SP with the actual old school link cable and play Mega Man Battle Network 3. I was electric.
Third one.
Oh yeah, I was electric shield style, and he was fire ground style. So for those of you looking at me like, what are you talking about, Mr. Gamer?
And who isn't?
Okay, so when you play through
I know what he's talking about.
when you play through the game, you have certain, depending on the type of chips that you've used to fight with and how you fight, there comes a point where your style will change. So if you use a whole lot of shields and a whole lot of electric chips, then that's your style, and you will progress and get different chips that you can put in your customization window that will then determine the different things you can do. Like, you can pull up a shield that will reflect damage, you could pull up a shield that will reduce damage, or you could pull up a shield that will only go down when 50 damage or more is done. So
a lot of customizability.
So much
and stuff. Okay.
Now I'm looking at this game now, though it doesn't look randomized at all, like you're going through a set, basically like a set path. What I do like about it is it's much faster than Battle Network.
Yeah, for sure.
Battle Network was nowhere near as fast as this, and this is a 4x4 where Battle Network was a 3x3. Grid to play on. But I do like how fluid the combat is, with the little like reshuffle bar that they have at the bottom, and how quickly your character moves. You can't really predict where your enemies will be, versus on Battle Network there was a grid
there's a grid and they're telegraphing everything.
Yeah, like everything. It's like, oh yeah, it's gonna be, you know, 1 this way and 2 this way, and here's gonna be my attack. But so the memories that I've had with Battle Network, fond memories. Now that I've seen One Step from Eden, I definitely want to give it a shot. I would put this, well, just looking at it, I would put this in the same category that I gave Bloodstain, Ritual of the Night, when I first looked at it, because I was like, okay, this is supposed to be what Castlevania was.
I was going to say made from the creator.
Right. So
yeah. That's on Game Pass, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Yep, I 100% completed that, got every single one of those shards, and whew, worth it. So I'm hoping I get that same feel from this. So, you know, it looks like it's going to be pretty fun, and I hope that I am pleasantly surprised.
Nice. See, I've never played Battle. Like, I'm a huge Mega Man fan, but specifically Mega Man X series. I've played some of the other Mega Man games, like before X, but I love the Mega Man X series. Never touched Battle Network. Never touched was it Star Force or whatever that other one was?
Yes, yeah. where instead of chips, everything was waves. Yeah,
was that similar gameplay though? Was it just a different name but the same gameplay?
So I got it similar in the way that yes, you use chips to battle, but in Star Force, it was behind the camera view, and you can only move left to right, similar to like Galaga, where there were lanes coming at you. Yeah, that's Star Force, where there's lanes of things coming at you, and you have to move left or right, and you can dodge and block. Versus Battle Network, and then the
like all 3 Battle Networks, because there's like different versions. They kind of did a Pokemon split at one point, where they had like a dark and light version of the same
there was Team Proto Man and Team Colonel version.
And
then there was Blue.
I think they did it like 2 or 3 times, right?
Yeah, Red Sun, Blue Moon, Team Colonel, Team Proto Man, Cybeast, Gygar, and Cybeast Fly something. So yes, they did.
They had like lions and tigers and bears. Oh my!
Yes. No Carol Baskins were harmed in the making of these videos.
Dang it!
I will say I did watch the review for One Step from Eden, and the way the reviewer described it was a roguelike, card battling, turn-based strategy, bullet hell.
That sounds like everything you don't like.
Who, me?
I thought you didn't like turn-based, especially.
I love turn-based. Well, I don't like turn-based RPG fighting. I like turn-based tactics.
Oh, okay. I got you.
And this is more in line with tactics, but it's the roguelike, like the randomization of the abilities is probably not up my alley. But the bullet hell seems interesting. But honestly, it's probably not my cup of tea. Say again?
Are you a Toho fan?
Oh, like the Toho games? Not really. Yeah, I don't really get into those too much. So I mean, honestly, there's a lot in there that seems cool, like the look of it, especially.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's probably not up my alley. I never really got into the Mega Man Battle Network series because of the way the grid stuff looked like. It's not so much. It's kind of like turn-based and active battle at the same time, which to me seems weird. Like I don't want to balance those two things. I'd rather it be more slow and tactical versus like twitchy if you're gonna be on a grid.
I think the real reason is you never got over that they changed the way Mega Man looks. Let's just be honest.
I don't mind how he looks. What do you mean?
Let's just be honest.
I have no issue with how he looks. Matter of fact, the Battle Network Mega Man actually has a cool look, especially when he has really like
sleek.
He gets like his super armor stuff where he has like the mask on and whatever. Am I making that up? That's what he looks like, right?
No,
you're making
it
cool.
He's got the mask on the whole time. Actually, I think.
Does he?
I think he's talking about specifically the boss battles where it's like Mega Man EXE battle routine execute, and then the mask comes over his face. Versus when he's just doing regular battles, he doesn't have the mask over.
Yeah, because I've noticed that difference. I like that look for Mega Man. I like his aesthetic a lot. Okay. But that's gonna do it for episode 41 of the BBET GamesCast. If you want to write us emails like Snick360 did, send those please to bbetgaming@gmail.com.
Right.
We love your emails. We read every single one of them. They will make it on this podcast for better or worse. I mean, don't go crazy. Yeah, don't go crazy. But for the most part, you don't even have to ask us about video games. You can ask us about personal stuff or just weird topics in general. We'll probably answer them because it's fun. But thanks everyone for listening. Jeff, where can people find you on the internet?
So you can find me on Superman Jeff 12 on Twitter. You can also find me on Superman Jeff 12 Plays on Facebook. And while you're doing that, make sure to hit the like on this video and the subscription. We need those likes and those subscribes so we can start to monetize some of the content that we're putting out.
Right, we're only 30 or so subscriptions away from being able to claim the regular youtube.com/BBETGaming URL. We need 100 subscribers to do that. We're getting there, so definitely share this video around. Get us some subscriptions, please.
Yay.
Gamer, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me at startbuttonreview.com. That's start button like on the controller. I am SBRMRGA.
What?
I didn't see a thing. I didn't
You
think
laugh.
that. Yo, I can laugh. It's a happy podcast. I can laugh.
You know damn well, Blue.
Go ahead with your start button.
You're not even gonna say the rest. Just start button, and I'm gonna end it there. But yes, SBRMRGAMER. Also, so if you have things that you thought that you just wanted to hear in an interesting voice, please do that. I have been requested to do the. I don't know if you two are familiar with the bad copy pasta rap. I have been requested to do a particular voice for that, and
Okay, cool.
it's, I'm gonna say, even as I wear these ears, it's a little cringy, not gonna lie.
Yo, if you saying it's cringy,
It is.
That's a lot.
So yes, but yes,
come watch
so
that train wreck.
yeah, it's gonna be hit me up if there's anything you want to hear on my Twitter. But yeah, there we go. It's SBRMRGAMER just about everywhere at this point.
Nice. Blue,
right.
where can people find you?
It's your boy Blue Bones BLUB0NES. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Facebook. Play with Blue Bones. You can find me on Instagram with Blue Bones. You can find me on actually Snapchat. I've been Snapchat. You know, in quarantine, you just find everything to do on your phone. I've been Snapchatting quite a bit. So again, BLUB0NES. If you want to hit me up on Xbox, you got to add that XB. Jeff was with me that time. I appreciate you, Wakanda Forever. And yeah, man, I'm looking forward to. I have to say, you know, there's always some positive aspect to anything that happens, and I am enjoying more time at home with y'all, and seeing some of these co-streams coming out. I'm really excited about it. GTA is going to be fun this Monday. I'm pretty excited about that too. So come through, check us out. Just like Jeff said, you know, y'all, just like everybody's saying, let's get those subscribes. Por favor, we appreciate y'all.
And thank you.
But Mr. Sigma, where can they find you?
You can find me pretty much on all social media at SigmaGears9. You can find me on Facebook at Sigma and Son. You can also find my 3-minute reviews as well as opinion pieces and streams with Escapists at escapistmagazine.com. We're actually going to be rebranding soon to just The Escapist.
Okay.
So,
that's good.
You know, world changing.
Yeah.
Hey,
y'all don't have to type in magazine no more, bro.
I mean,
efficiency.
That dead weight, drop it.
Less clicks.
Less clicks.
Like we said, check out all of our streams throughout the week. Please subscribe, like Jeff said, like Blue said, like Gamer said. That's going to do it for episode 41. Thanks to my 3 co-hosts. Thanks everyone for listening. We're done. Peace.
Peace.